Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here, and in this live stream we are back at Fletcher, the Fast and the Fletcherous, as it were. This time we're taking the Crossbow out for the run. We are going to just be killing orphans, just be killing pits, just be killing bosses, going into the pits, killing everything in there and getting out as scot-free as possible and as quickly as possible. Should have left that in, really. We are killing the pits. Technically, we've got our lovely kinky finger in the mouth skull crossbow in action. Quick reminder for those who are not aware of what Fletcher is: every arrow drawn is a random special arrow, not now at the moment. Every miss deals 1 damage to you. Scarce health drops only after pits, bosses, no shops. This isn't actually that scarce anymore since the update. We can expect 3 health drops from the boss, which is actually quite a lot, each boss, and 2 health drops from the pit, which kind of makes the Annihilation side of things. Part of the reason why I come up with doing it this way is because the health drops are in the pits and at the bosses, and we want to grab them and get going and try and lose as little as possible between now and then. Teleport arrows can't damage enemies. This much is true. It's the first thing I tried. Is like, I know how to Fletcher. We'll just use teleport arrows. Nope, they were 1 step ahead of me. However, they may have been 1 step ahead of me, but super bright lies. No achievement progress. This is false. Fletcher is a fantastic way, providing you have the arrow unlocked, to actually up the kills for specific and potentially troublesome special arrows, because although it says no achievement progress for this one, doesn't say it in Purist, does say it in Mortal, you do actually get achievement progress on all 3. And the other thing that I will add to Mortal when I was doing it the other day is it doesn't actually do the clicks in Mortal, or at least it didn't on the Pico version. But anyway, I digress. So, a couple of little things that we're going to be using today, or I'm going to be trying to remember, because we're going to be doing a lot of rooftop hopping, and something I probably don't do enough and talk about, and it should help me remember: shield shard. One of the things that you can do with the crossbow that again makes it quite powerful, you can hold the shield whilst loading a teleport arrow, but only a teleport arrow. So we can't load normal arrows, but we can load teleport arrows. And as you can appreciate, if we then make a point of keeping things to our right, hello LG, if we make a point of keeping things to our kind of right as we're moving, there's a chance, at least on the fly, that we won't get hit because the shield's just there. And I also find personally as well, once the shield is out, I'm better at just moving it and blocking it. Having to engage it and then move it to block it is sometimes a bit of a nightmare. In-game as well. So, yes, let's hear all my tricks. Hey, look, LG, you don't need... I've seen what you've done here. Tell us all about this as well, I want to know. I assume you got quite deep and then decided to start killing all the enemies in the cycle to just pip me at the post, because I would have done the same if I was closing in on Drunken, or even myself. I assume, good sir, I assume. But you know what they say about assumptions. So, the other thing, whilst LG's scrabbling away about recounting his stories of glories, we will have a quick look at the amulets. Amulets-wise, spiritual assist, we're using the crossbow. If I have to tell you why we don't use spiritual assist, this isn't really the game for you. Wealth's privilege, there are no shops, so we don't need any gold. Blessed quiver, we have no quiver, we're just getting random special arrows, so we don't need that. Anakim's flaw, yeah, there's an argument for that one, because we're not doing massive amounts of damage to Anakim using Winters all the time. But there is the possibility that some of the arrows that do damage to him not overtick damage and over time like Winter's Bite, because you don't get that many Winter's Bites when you're fighting him. If you do, then you're doing well. There is... Oh, well, in that case, well done, LG. Stripping my own techniques and doing better at them. Well done, sir. That's what I like to see. Resistance privilege. This one and this one are the only 2 for consideration, and unusual fortitude trumps out every time because this gains us 1 additional health bar, which we can heal. So we can basically hold the full 12 amount of health, providing we have all the unlocks. Whereas this gives us an extra tick of armor. Once we've lost that, well, that's gone. So it's basically a toss-up between a little bit of extra armor to begin with. You will lose it early on because one missed shot and it's gone. Or the ability to store one extra health over the course of the run and over the course of the game. That is huge. So I don't think there's really any difference between... I don't think there's anything else even up for consideration. Losing an entire ability to store health over doing 20% less, having to do 20% less damage to Anakin. Don't know. I mean, we can burn him down pretty quick, and we should be able to burn him down even faster with the crossbow because of how it works. So the thing to know with the crossbow is the crossbow deals all of its damage to up close and personal targets. That's one of the things that makes the crossbow a little easier in the way that we are going to be doing things, because... oh, that's just KO'd everything. Because... we want that one-hit kill... oh, we could have used that. That'll do. We want that one-hit kill potential. Are you now? Interesting. It is the one thing that I would have up for consideration. I still think the additional health is better. But again, if you're getting to the point where, you know, you're in and out and not taking any damage, then there's argument for it. I'll give it that. Hey, look, I just come up with the techniques, mate. I'm not here to refine them. Come on now. So I am going to try and make a point of travelling with the shield out, though. The one thing that you do have to bear in mind is you need to put it away when you are closing in on the orphan. Ooh, that's nasty. That's everybody together right there. Excuse me, come through. Hot stuff. I need a rooftop. And what we'll do is we'll go all the way over here. That will then de-aggro everything that we've just aggroed, and then come back over here. Hello, Cynthia. How we doing? Don't worry, I haven't missed too much. So, we did a bit back and forward in there. There may still be one or two enemies aggroed back there, but it's de-aggroed this massive pile that we came in to get the orphan with. Normally, you don't need to do that because the orphan and the pit may not be in the same section. One of the things that we know is that the orphan is always in the third section. This is one of the reasons why Orph Annihilation works, because we know where our target is approximately. And then on top of that, if you have an idea of the spawns within the different configurations, you're kind of good to go. Right, let's see if we can land that. The reason why we teleport into the portal from very far away, I don't want to have to shoot anything other than orphans and bosses. The only enemies that I'm going to be shooting are for me to cycle arrows. This is a garbage arrow. Lovely. Oh, good. Skeleton archers, everybody's favourite. Yeah. Well, there you go. There goes the armor. Feels like a weight has been lifted. Look at that. That's aim for you. Liquid, solid gold aim right there. Now, the one thing we are here for, as discussed, is the orphan. Oh, my shield technique failed me. The one thing we are here for is the orphan. The way we are going to get that orphan... hang on. Was that stick drift? I've only just repaired this. I felt like stick drift. Let's get out of that a second. Right, let's calm down a sec. Maybe using the shield in the pit is not so good an idea, because you're going... so I'm going to start deactivating. So what I did there is, because I had the shield up, I loaded a teleport arrow, and I fired off the wrong one. Silly boy. Again, we're still working with various techniques here. Got to refine these things. So we've got the orphan. We have lost a bit of life. It doesn't matter because we're going to get loads of health top-ups. Shouldn't be a problem. We need, if we are only going after the orphans, you need to prioritize and make a point of getting every single one if they're viable. The only one that I would allow you not to go for is the one in Paradise Lost, because sometimes those ones are just not worth the hits that you will take. Making a miss when you do an orphan, that's all well and good, but taking hits, especially at those higher cycles, you can't afford. Can't afford it. We can't afford it. That was terrible. Now, we shouldn't really play this game. Get out of the way. Sure. Shouldn't really play the executioner game. Should really be a little bit slow and steady. Hey, look, at least I'm giving my live streams raw and wriggling. I have not practiced on this. I have not played this way for a while on the crossbow. But we should be alright. Ooh, good arrow to see. As I said, we come loaded with all the excuses on these streams. All the excuses. Right, that'll kill him. There we go. Not very good, that. Right, let's try not and die in the first pit. Hey, what a good idea that would be. Right. So. Because I've kind of, you know, I've got to perform at least a little bit. Otherwise, why would you copy me in this technique? The thing is... Alright. I'll give you that one, Mike. I may come up a cropper from ignoring that very good advice. And the fact of the matter is, you're not wrong. Fuck me. You're not wrong, because we haven't actually done an awful lot yet. But let's just see how we go. Thanks, Divine Sight. You're a champ. Nah. No, because what we'll do here now is we just won't lose any more life. That's all we'll do. This is one of the ways that you can make your... Yet. Still time. Oh. Yeah, oh, they're... Oh. Oh! It's alright. It's alright. But see, the thing is, we're not going to lose a single hit through Paradise Lost. Believe it or not. We're also not going to take any hits. Ooh. We're not going to take any hits from Anakin, because that's just going to be the quickest burn down you ever will see. Hi, how we doing? Hey there, Silver Tongue Devil here. No, I mean, what a great start to a stream, right? Maybe I should put myself on 1 health to begin with. What a great way to start a stream. So we're literally, we don't need to kill any of that. It's actually worth those ghosts absolutely garbage points. Absolutely garbage points. So there's no point even going for those ghosts. They're worth just the gold amount. If you kill them quickly, I suppose you'd get a bit of executioner bonus from them. But we'll, you know, 100,000. already. So as you can see, so this is the other thing with this technique as well. Actually, we'll keep Cataclysm, because that will burn a Cycle 1 Anakin down quite quickly. So let's just get in there and do that. The thing with the crossbow as well is you can get away with the burn down technique for a lot longer. It's one of the other things that I'm potentially playing with as well. Is, so you know how... do I share these techniques? Look what it did to the leaderboard. But look what LG done to me by being able to get him past those higher level Anakins. Do I share? It wouldn't be me if I didn't. So the other thing that I'm going to start playing around with, and I might start playing around with it tonight, is there's only one place better that I could think of that we could have Anakin and have had the monks spawn already. And that would be on the stairs. So if we can maneuver him up to the top so that he is coming down the stairs, and we have killed his minions in this one and this one, then absolutely everything else is behind us, plus all of the... Ow. All... Yeah, it's possibly one of the things that I'm going to do. There you go, back to full health again. Nothing to worry about, and we even took damage on him. But what I'm potentially planning on doing is luring Anakin down to the bottom, bringing him back here, luring him back up to the stairs, getting his first lot of life off of him and spawning the first two archers on those two at the top of the stairs, luring him back away again, and then going for the big finish on the stairs. Now, even with the knights, I would like to think that you would be able to put enough effects and enough bits and pieces on that stairwell that you wouldn't have to worry about anything, and then we would also have every single archer, as long as we face looking forward, you would have every single archer behind you. And if every single archer is behind you and out of your vision, then you don't need to worry about them, as we know. Right, shield on. Ooh, let's just quickly arrow cycle a second. No, not that one. That'll do. Let's get that shield on. And we'll just travel with that out. Because if we are travelling with that out, well, I'd rather... Same principle as a condom. I'd rather have one and not need one than need one and not have one. So I'd rather have the shield out and not need it. And at the end of the day, it's just one extra button to hold. And it's not that particularly difficult. As you saw in my little pit failure... So here's the other thing that it does as well. Look at what's happening to these enemies as we are moving through them. I don't know if you can see that there, but we are taking enemies out on the move. Now, the one thing that I don't know... Well, there is that. I'm making a point now of trying to get the shield bashes. I shouldn't be, because that's not what you do it for. Ooh. Right, shield off. You die. Thank you very much. And we leave. So yeah, shield down. Least shielded person for the old orphan kill. And then we leave. But yeah, as I said, it's a work in progress, that one, LG. I might let you go off on that one. Because as far as I'm concerned, I've kind of put my work in now for Fletcher. I don't need first, because I know I'm just there for legend points. And I know, just like you know, the difference of legend points between first, second, third, fourth, fifth. It's so minute that I don't think it's worth bothering with. If there was like hundreds of points difference between 1st and 10th, then maybe, just maybe, I would put more effort in, but there isn't. It's just not the case. It's like 1,000 for finishing 1st, 990 for finishing 2nd, 980 for finishing 3rd, and then it goes down by 10 until top 5, and then I think top 5 to top 10 is 950, and then it's like 900 for the top 50. Or 5 to 10, and then, yeah, top 50, 950 or 900 or something along those lines. So top 5 finishes, that'll do me. That's all I need. And then I can spread myself more thin. Now, the only thing that we got to not run a cropper of with the crossbow is rapid firing too much. And the reason being is because if you're rapid firing, you're not really paying too much attention as to what arrow is coming out next. And pass through. Yeah, as I said, it's the same with me. I said that to Beanie in the comments today. Oh, look, that's gone in nicely, hasn't it? What? Don't change your techniques. Said that to Beanie in the comments on Facebook today. It's like, you know, oh, the battle at the top between the boys on the crossbow reminds me of back in the day with X, and X. And it's like, yeah, those days when we used to have time, right? Oh, right in the Canugan. Have some of that. So as you can see, especially in these early cycles, if a lot of your hits are coming from misses, you can afford them because you're going to get a lot of blood of the lambs. Like Paradise Lost is probably one of the best places to gain because you're just going there to kill what could be a particularly tough orphan on those higher cycles. But you're getting the full 3 life back, and on average, so the way that I work it out, if you have the achievement that is... Yeah, I mean, I might actually do a full run on the bow or the crossbow and live stream it. Again, those little micro stutters bother me, so I might not be able to get as good a score as if I just do it in my own time. But having said that, Quest 3 out soon, so if it can handle it, maybe if I can shut my mouth for 5 seconds and concentrate, maybe, just maybe, I'll stream it. But then this is the other thing as well, is a main run, doing it from start to finish across live streams. I'm all up for chatting and doing all the good stuff that I usually do, but I don't find the gameplay very exciting because to play it properly, it isn't exciting. It's just not. We've got to check over there for the pit. You want to make a point when you're doing this of checking for the pits sooner rather than later. We have to check around that corner, and we're going to do it in as safe a way as possible. Kill the enemy that's here, sit into a corner, and wait. These guys are very obliging. Any more? There's always one more. There she is. Okay, so there's our pit. Let's take this out quick. I know, right? I know. Again, hit by ghosts. This stage doesn't even matter. We want to be avoiding taking hits, though, especially unnecessary ones. But at this point, I'm just trying to be fast. So, because I know we're going to get at least 2 hits. So, one of the other things... see, agony is normally agony equals awesome, but in this mode, not so much. Not so much, because this one's the one that can have the hard orphan, and ultimately, the orphan is what we are here for. Right, we're going to play the arrow selector game, so let's lure some enemies in and be on our slow time. So one of the things that I worked out, which has now changed again as well, and you look at it across a cycle, or at least I do. Balls. So you look at it across a cycle. Across a cycle, we would expect 9 heals across the bosses alone, and then a further 4 across the pits. If you have the achievement that gives you a 30% chance of getting a double heal, well, that's 13 kind of rolls Yeah, 9 plus 4 is 13. Yeah, that's 13 rolls of a 30% chance. So you would like to think that across... It doesn't quite work out at this as percentages wise. It's a little bit worse. But you would like to think that for every 4 heals you get, you are guaranteed a double. And, you know, if you get more than that, happy days, lucky. If you get less than that, boo-hoo, commiserations. But it should average out about that. So you look at it along the lines of we've got 13 life shots, 4 heals. So we should get at least 4, 8, 12. And then another 2 on top of that as well. For the extra... another 3 on top of that as well. So the long and the short of it is, on average... we can expect 16 heals per cycle. That's a lot of wiggle room in a mode where if you take it slow and steady, you're actually very powerful. Yeah, all right, fellas. There's always one, isn't there? It's always you. These are the shots that I struggle with on Crossbow. Anything that requires precision and even that medium range is and can be difficult with the Crossbow. Right, we could do with cycling arrow on you. But again, the other thing as well, much better to take a miss than it is to take a hit. I know I'm not doing a very good job of that at the moment, but we're, you know, we've got our excuses laid out on the table. I've got them all. Right, so Pestilence isn't too bad here because Pestilence will stop her teleporting away. The only problem is it won't do a lot of damage. But we've got to work with what we got, and we're going to get right into her face. Oh, you little shit. Oh, she died from the curse anyway. Okay, well, curse is going to do a bit of work for us, and we leave. I would rather expend the extra shots on her and make sure I get a guaranteed kill than risk taking a hit. That's more for a later cycle play thing, because you'll always only take 1 peg of damage. Like, even that is a shot I don't want to make. Not that accurate with the Crossbow, not with the way that I play it. Which could be a problem. We shall see. That's a good arrow if it locks onto something. It's locked on. Lovely, lovely. And it's doing the business down the bottom there as well. You've teleported in early. That's nice. Oh, there was a time. There was a time. Yeah, I think you're right. I'd love to find a way. The only way that I can feasibly think that it wouldn't be a no-go is if you attacked her, went past her, killed either him or went right and went deep into the level so that all the enemies spawn around you and despawn her. But that's only so that you could do a 2-biter on her. So it's the problem is it's a very dangerous technique. It's something that, again, I've played around with. But if we went deep into the level, you'd then have both of these chaps spawning enemies, plus the 5 or 6 enemies that's up there, the 5 or 6 enemies up there. But again, the problem is, at later cycles, those enemies are getting fast, and it's the later cycles is where we can potentially struggle. But what it would allow you to do is dip in there, do a hit to her, get past her, get a decent cycle quickly for a decent arrow, come back and put another hit on her. If you can get her in 2, then happy days. If you can't, then she's still a loss. So, right, now we haven't got or heard the orphan up here, and I do believe she cannot be at that point. Wildfire 5 will keep hold of. Let's get our shield back on so I remember to show off my fancy shield movement technique that's already lost me more life than it's been worth. It is, if you are just cycle skipping within the main game, it's worth doing because you don't need that hand to do anything else. As long as you can hold grip and reload with the A button for your teleport arrows at the same time, then it's just the potential of being able to just block things on the casual. Because let's face it, you shouldn't be being hit by things in front of you whilst you're rooftop hop him. She's going to have to be in the cathedral bit. No, there she is. Hello. Bye. And she never saw us coming. So, as you can see there, that same hit with the bow would have done, I think it would have done 3,900 plus the burn damage. Now, there is some sort of modifier that takes away the various damage multipliers that you get for the crossbow and the bow when using special arrows. Some do a little bit more, some do a little bit less. As a general rule, vanilla arrows are the ones that do all the big damage up close with the crossbow. But what of the special arrows uses vanilla arrows? That's right, volley. Volley 5 and volley 3. If my memory serves, without taking a hit, a volley 5 should do somewhere in the like 8,000, 9,000 region in damage. You can get up to probably about cycle 7 or 8 with one of those kind of hits before you need to start two-hitting an orphan to kill it. And the longer we can go with these one-hit kills on orphans, well, the easier it is on us. So, I'm just having a quick vape. And quick wet of water, and then we'll try again. The only problem with that, LG, is I would rather risk the misses on the orphan for what we're talking about with the orphan in agony. I would rather, in Fletcher at the very least, I would rather risk the misses with her than risk taking hits deeper into agony, because I think we can both agree that, you know, that's not where you need help on agony with that or where we need help on that placement of the orphan in agony. It isn't anything to do with her placement. It's to, well, yeah, it's to do with the enemies. Going in, making an attempt and retreating is not safe by any stretch of the imagination, but going in, making an attempt and then going deep to then come back could get you killed quite easily, especially at later cycles. So, hello Sean. How we doing? No worries, dude. Cool, so this is the other thing that I do with this. We haven't actually used a lot of slow time either. I cycle on old Asmo's body for a cataclysm, either ×2 or ×3. And we make use of that on his body in a diagonal fashion just to pop all the boils. And again, the reason being is I want to take as fewer shots as possible at enemies. So I don't want to pop each... Oh, lovely arrow. Thank you very much. Cheers, RNG. You're a diamond. Right, let's get in here a little bit. See where that's going. Yeah, good. Yep, yep, yep. Careful, careful. Is there any more? Nope, they're all dead. Lovely. You'll note as well, as fast as I can fire the crossbow, I fire at a much slower rate with the crossbow in Fletcher just because of pass-through. And what I mean by pass-through is if you don't use slow time and just rapid fire, you can get a lot of times where the arrow just simply goes through the enemy. Now that's not a problem in the main game with the crossbow or on something like Purist or Mortal, but for every shot that we miss we're being penalised for, that's a big problem. No. So here we want homings. Perfect. Homing arrows for the win, because we don't have to do the aiming with homing arrows. Let's try and cycle for some more. There's some more. Lovely. Let's get rid of those. Another one. Let's put it out there. Hopefully it might come dive back in. No. What about now? No. Oh, yep, it's gone. Hang on, Weeps. I'll read that in a sec. Asmo's a bit loud. Shard. Shard's on this one. Yes. Yes. Nailed it. And up there. And... Hey, got it. Lovely. Oh, you can do a little bit of cycling here, but it's a bit risky. I would only risk cycle there if you've got, like, Ball Lightning or Curse of God, because you don't want that for these few enemies, because you don't want to run the risk of killing the entire wave. Oh, are you going to the States, are you, Weeps? Interesting, interesting. This one's not too bad. This one will go across these guys, which is controllable. Shrapnel Blast, that is an arrow that we can use on our target. Oh dear. Who is there? Lovely. Lovely Florida. What, weather in Britain not good enough for you? This other half and how they live. Do you know how Weeble makes his fortune? Doesn't have to buy games. Begs keys out of the likes of me and Indy. What a champ. And done. Yeah. I was doing his tax returns not so long ago, and you know, the amount of money that he saves his keys is in the millions, people. The millions. He's that good at what he does. So and there we go. So again, this is the other part of the game of Annihilation, as I like to dub it, that I have to try and religiously stick to. And it's quite difficult sometimes, but you should, is don't deviate from the plan. Even if you've got full health and you're going through the level and you've killed the orphan, and you know that you're going to get at least 3 heals out the boss, a lot of people will think like, oh, well, let's go and get some headshots on some enemies and let's work the level a bit and get the score. And the problem with that is, as any good Fletcher player, or any Fletcher player will tell you, Fletcher is going amazingly well until it's really fucking not. And the problem with going after headshots is it takes one miss and you bam, you take damage. That miss then gets capitalized on by an enemy, bam, you're on 2 damage. You panic shot, you've lost 3 damage. You know, you panic shot again, you've lost 4 damage. All of a sudden you are on a bit of a downward spiral on the life side of things, because you're not going to get to the end of a level and be able to heal back up to full. So in my humble opinion, because it's always a humble opinion from me, is that you want to just stick to your guns on the technique. Just kill the orphans. The only enemies that we kill are to cycle arrows, and that is all she wrote. I know Cam has had a lot of success in Fletcher, and I believe Elite Jonathan as well, by doing what I do. No, Elite Jonathan, rather, not Cam. Cam does his own thing. Elite Jonathan had a lot of success with doing this technique, but then also not wasting life at the end of the level. But Elite Jonathan is a very, very good player with thousands of, well, hundreds of at least hours in this game. So this, I'd like to think that if you can load a single arrow and you are happy isolating enemies and cycling enemies and getting the arrows that you need to be able to perform the Annihilation, then I'd like to think that this technique is doable by, like, you know, new starters. This is not for you, but I would like to think that a lot of people can do this. And the beauty of this technique as well is, let's face it, competition is low on this mode. We've got a decent arrow from Annihilation. Is the pit there? Nope, it's in the 3rd section. Lovely. Because competition is low and scoring is, quite frankly, poor on Fletcher, you don't actually need that many points to be able to, you know, get a top 100. Get a top 10. Where's the fucking pit? Hello, Mr. Collins. Where's the fucking pit? Has it not spawned? Missed it. Try not to miss the pits. There is an argument if you wanted to play that way. If you get a volley 5 or a divine sight or something that you consider the perfect arrow for an orphan annihilation, there is the argument of getting deep into the level to the 3rd section and taking the orphan out first before going into the pit, because then it was there. I did check that. There is the argument of go deep into the level. Again, if you're just getting used to it as well, learning the orphan locations is probably as good an idea. Hello, Lauren. Good job you're here now and not at the start of the stream. We did absolutely garbage, but we're back to where we should be. So it was all part of the live stream plan. What we're doing here, Mr. Collins, is we are doing orphan annihilation. Now, here's another thing as well, is because you are going into levels where the level is heavily populated, it has trouble until you get very close rendering certain things in, i.e. the pit entrance. If you go past it and know that the pit entrance is there, you can still hit it. So if we get far enough back that you can't see the pit entrance, as long as you hit the pit, then you're all good. All good. And yeah, so what we're doing here is we are killing orphans, just orphans, going into pits, killing the orphans, and as little as possible in the pit because they're bloody hard, and then killing the bosses. And yes, all in real life. So maybe what I will start doing from about cycle 2 and onwards is actually let's start engaging the old slow time. Oh, this one's not even a real pit. Not even a real pit. It's not a real pit if it hasn't got at least archers in it of some description. That's... got lucky then. Got lucky. Right. Let's get these boys first. You have one of those. Oh. Probably not the greatest of ideas. Wildfire 5. Let's go and get that orphan quick. Let's use some slow time this time whilst we're finding her. Hello. Bye-bye. So that's one of the other beauties of the slow time as well. You can load the arrow whilst you are still in... damn, slow time. You can load the arrow whilst you are in slow time, have it loaded, and hold it there. Oh, that was terrible. My accuracy with this thing sometimes. Come on, lads. Can't we talk about it? Well, to be fair, that is the arrow we needed. Whilst we're getting into the swing of things. But again, it's only 2 life. And they're from misses. Actually, no, one of those was from a hit. Let's start eliminating those sooner rather than later. But again, if you... as I've said previously, it is the... it is the... this pit specifically that I budget life loss for the entire cycle. We shouldn't be losing any health on Anakin, really, and we shouldn't be losing health anywhere else. Oh, mate, it's always a skill issue. Always. Always a skill issue. But then, you know, we can counter skill issues by having excuses set up. It's the perfect meta counter for a skill issue is excuses. And I got them in heaps. Absolute heaps. For instance, playing Purist with the crossbow and playing... playing Purist with the crossbow and playing Fletcher with the crossbow are two very different techniques. But again, you'll see that I'm trying to rush through this. I want to get to probably about cycle 5 when we would start normally taking that double damage. That's when we kind of need to start having a word, slowing down and being careful. At the moment, I'm still trying to play this a little bit quick sharp. Now, there is an argument for doing that, because executioner bonus. And although this would be the best place... Oh, please load. Oh, please load. Although this is probably the best place to go for... I said, mate, this is only cycle 2. But again, we're going faster than we should be, but... Hey, look, it's not like these are my choices or anything. Ooh, that's timely. Anything on the way? Now, this should, in theory, be enough. Oh, that went right up the backside. Excellent. Well done, Divine Sight. You meme of a homing arrow, you. I'll hold this hand of God. Yay! You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Excuses, excuses. No, this... You would think, wouldn't you? But no, I'm playing it like Cycle 3. It's for regards to life loss. But no. Only Cycle 2. But yeah, we've got to start slowing down. No! That sounds way too... that sounds way too... clever, Laurent. We don't do clever, not on these streams. Hell, not playing like this. Not like this. Oh, hello. Oh, dear. You're still alive. You're just not hearable. Now, few more enemies, and we want to prioritize the... because we only have to kill a certain amount of enemies, and because it's easy sitters, usually, if you teleport on top of melee combatants... No, don't need it. Because it's usually sitters if you teleport on top of melee combatants. They are, if you are just after numbers, the enemy to prioritize when you are in the pit. And the reason being is because Ghost Swarms, you should, if you keep moving, as Laurent said, and it's a good idea, teleport after every shot. I kind of do that with the bow, but then I put the game into slow time as much that it doesn't really matter. All right, 2 seconds. Plus PM. I thought you said that, Collins. Very good. No, he's not wrong. Load it up with plus P's. Into the Radius gang knows of what I talk of. Right, so we've got the orphan here already. No, she wasn't in. Yeah, we have got the orphan here already. So we don't need that. What I do want to try and do is cycle arrows for something a bit better than this garbage. Something like Hand of God for how I'm going to be doing this would be ideal. I mean, it's not going to give that. Oh, I thought there was an enemy there. No. No. Winter's Bite. That's as good, as long as we don't hit more winter spikes as we're doing it, as we're burning Annie Bobs down. But a winter spike as the first hit, allowed to do all the tick damage. I always play too much radius. I don't think... Is that a term really though, Mr. Collins? I don't think you can play too much. As you can see after those heals in the pits, we're fine again. Gonna have to start engaging my slow time brain. Needs to come online soon. Let me just sort the old headphones out. Needs to go in a bit. That one needs to go in a bit. That needs to go forward a bit. How's that digging in? Things I do for chat. The new... Oh, the Light Brigade. To be honest with you, mate, I haven't looped back to that for a while. It is one that I want to revisit. But there needs to be new stuff added. There needs to be new cards and new concepts and new bits and pieces. It needs a little bit. Needs a little bit more. Right, Winter's Bite we've got. So, wait for the turn. It's not what we wanted. That's not ideal. Please hold still. So note how my rate of fire is nowhere... Oh yeah, give me Hand of God right at the end. Fucking idiot. So note how my rate of fire is nowhere as fast as it could be. And the reason being, I find, is when you rapid fire him down there, you will lose life. We don't really want to, if we don't have to. I was probably in a situation where I could get away with that. But if you go fast, that would be good. Thing is, one of the things that I've never done on that, Laurent, is there is the ability to make the game into truly randomly generated levels. It's in the settings. I've never bothered turning it on because I've always looked at it along the lines of, well, I'm leveling up the characters at the moment and trying to get as much experience as possible. So if I'm playing the same maps kinda all the time, then that's a good thing. But yeah, I don't know if there's new maps, but there's definitely going to be new assets within, because that one is procedurally generated again to a point. Blade and Radius, indeed. All right, let's go. Can we make that with the crossbow? I don't think we can. No, okay. Down here, then up there. See if we can do a bit of cycling along the way. Probably not. Shields out. True rooftop hopping, that's a great level for it as well, because you can go so high that a lot of the enemies that would normally give you trouble despawn. We like that. We like that a lot. Right then, fellas. Ready for some arrow cycling? Hellfire. Ooh, I think that might be a big ask. No worries, LG. Thank you for dropping by. These are Garbo arrows. Ah. Okay, well, we've now actually taken a hit. And what that hit... Oh, I know where you are. I know where you are now. What that hit's actually going to do for us is going to cause more damage off of that first hit. Note how that was a single Hellfire shot and it did 3,785. And that's because I got hit on purpose by that Cupid just so that I can get that bonus damage. It wasn't on purpose, but we made use of a mechanic within the game. What does the YouTube picture? What does the YouTube picture? Oh, what? The thumbnail? Are you talking about the thumbnail, Mr. Collins? We know Anakin. We know Anakin. We know the big angel fella, Gabriel. That's the one. So the picture is what one of the top players on the Fletcher mode, who doesn't really play the game anymore, is the Fletcher. He won, I think it was last season, on the crossbow, and I think he did very well on the bow as well. And so I put his little avatar as the Fletcher outside. Oh, come on. Think about it. Of course it's going to pass through. He's not fucking there yet. Ow. So, yeah, he's one of the top players on Fletcher who sadly hasn't got time to play anymore. So I thought I would pay homage to a friend of mine and put him in, put his little avatar in. And go around the corner. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do with this Hand of God is, because he is finished. This is what I should normally do with Hand of God, but you know, doing things and reminding and telling yourself to do things. This is why I say it. If you do have a Hand of God coming up next, what you should wait for is Anakin to do this. Gabriel to do that, so that we can put him on ice, nice and close to us. I think we missed a shot there. Look at that pass through. Isn't it terrible? And it's all in the hope and dreams of doing him as fast as we can. Oh, Winter's Bite right in the Canugan. Yeah, it is. It is. Again, though, it's the one thing that I'm doing is slow time actually helps, as I've found anyway, with what little testing I've done. Slow time with something like the bow. Hello, Reyes. How we doing? Something with slow time abuse, like the bow, kind of, what's the word? It kind of negates that pass through from time to time, because you're not firing as fast and you're slowing the game down a lot. And although you're not physically, you can. I've just got to be, as I said, I've just got to be careful with how rapid fire, because if I go hell for leather, you'll see me lose a bunch of life, and it won't be because of misses, it'll be because of pass through. And he, I find, is one of the worst for it as well. So that's not an excuse, that's just a fact. But yeah, it is easier to do with the bow, because the bow, the problem with that pass through, I think, and everyone's had it, where you like fire a shot and it goes through the head of an enemy, is the usual one. And I think it's just a glitch that's always been in the game. And I think one of the ways, there we go, one of the ways that you avoid it is by making use of slow time and slowing down your rate of fire. Now, although you are slowing down your rate of fire, because you are in slow time, to them, you're not. So one of the things that I was told, I can't remember who said it, might have been Mr. Fish or LG or somebody, but someone said that when you Winter's Bite an orphan, there's a guaranteed sort of no pass through on the next hit. And we do need to experiment with that. Because, yeah, I do exactly the same. I get loads of pass through on the orphan all the bloody time. Right, we need to cycle arrows here a second. Let's have a quick look. So again, we're not too worried about the life situation yet. We'll go another couple of cycles. Then we'll start engaging or adding. I'm sure, I can't remember who said, I can't remember if it was, it wasn't you then, Laurent. I can't remember who said it. Can't remember, but we'll have a look. We'll have a look. Yeah, no, but that's the thing is, if, yeah, the problem with the, as I said at the time, the problem with that tactic, even using a ×3, it does not do enough damage. Okay. Yeah, so as I say, the problem with it as far as... Where is that? No, it's not here then. Can't be. Can't be. And she's not either. Yeah, the problem with Winter's Bite is even the ×3 variant, as we know, on a headshot doesn't actually do that much damage. The freeze doesn't last long enough. And then the problem is you would need a second bite. And there's every possibility that the second arrow out is something fucking garbage. And so then you need to fire that arrow and the hope that the third arrow's good, and that could be fucking garbage. And all of a sudden you're standing around with your dick in your hand waiting for arrows. So... No, I've had it on everything. I've had it on... in my experience, I have had the pass-through on everything. Absolutely everything. Seems to be on the body, especially of Anakin. But I've had pass-through on everything. And it's just firing too fast. That's all it is. Because if you abuse slow time and fire fast as well, yes, it's a truly terrifying combination. But in this mode, it is not. Because pass-through gets you killed. Oh, there it is. Let's get a bit closer. Take you out. Take you out. Now, because we've got attention from those ones, we want to take them out before we do anything else. Or we de-aggro them by going all the way back here, letting them despawn, and then going in again. We've taken the troublesome ones that are on the top levels out. Now we can go back in, and now none of this... Oh, he is. There's always one, isn't there? Why is it always a bloody Cupid? I hear another one. Alright, let's try that again, shall we? So we've taken out a couple more of the flyers, but we don't want them teleporting down our neck. Let's drop all the way back here. Teleport. All the way back in. And then we go again. What have you had to do to get to the live stream, Sean? Are you still wanting to play? They are as well. Okay, well, no thanks. Ah. Clever girl. Oh, good. Okay, well, it's not allowing me to show off what I want to show off, but the whole point of this is you can kill what would come after you up here and then skip back to de-aggro it. Hopefully that wasn't too close. And then you should be good to go. Resign? Now you find it. Hey, look, with the support that you give me on Facebook, you are one of the few people that I can extend a Sean is never late, he arrives precisely when he means to hall pass to. So, there. Right, where are we going? Right, so we want to use this area now, not back there. I did have a decent arrow for an Orphan Annihilation, but I don't want to go too deep through the game to then have to go back. These are, again, the things that get you killed. Right, now we're cycling arrows. Cupid's Wrath I'm still undecided about. The fact that you can shoot it at her feet and make her jump up is funny, but it doesn't... it's fine, mate. It doesn't... It's funny to make the orphan jump, but she can teleport during that animation. It's like she never leaves the floor. Anyway, Divine Sight ×3 should do a decent amount of damage. Just enough. Just enough. Right, let's pop one of those down there. You guys can have that. Let's go back and get the enemies that we missed. Come back here and start again. Ooh. Oh, we're only on 2, mate. Making an absolute pig's ear of some of this, you know. Although, again, hopefully this will show you that even if you play it quite calamitously during the pits... Thank you, Cynthia. Before you get too far, things can still go quite calamitously with this technique, and you can recover quite easily. I remember doing this technique before you used to get as much life, and it was a lot harder because you got, what was it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 less chances of a heal, which was, on average, another 6 health. Whee! Steady. I'm not supposed to be right. I was gonna smack you into your friend. Just trying to have some fun with it. Nope. That was not the arrow, but that one is. And take. Go. No, but if he's already liked it before it started, that still counts. Those, as I understand it, I mean, I know, 4 draws on the teleport arrow. Oh, right, aiming for the pit at a distance, potentially. No, that's can be expected when you're getting into the swing of things on it. Did we? No. I'm talking about if you... I don't know. I'm no master of the algorithm. If I was, you know, I would have a much bigger channel. But one of the things, as I understand it, is liking the stream before it starts makes YouTube push it more. But again, I'm not too worried. Not too worried about it, yeah. I don't know if, like, hitting the reminder button does anything either. I mean, but, you know, if you've got reminders on, it'll remind you of when the stream's on. So, right, I think we need an arrow, because I can't remember. Classic Silver Tongue Devil. Can't remember what he did, like, what, 5 seconds ago? Is it 5 seconds? Do you not think? I think you might be in there. Let's go and get close so we can listen. There she is. Oh, look! Streamer lock. Lovely. Hello. See, that's not that much more than the bow. I wonder if they've changed that, you know. Tim has done very, very well for himself. Very well indeed. I would be quite happy to put a 10 million odd in and then call it a day on the main run myself. Problem is, I look at that as like, well, that's 40 hours, isn't it? Well, maybe 40, 30 hours. It's a lot of hours. Big old commitment. It's one of the other problems as well with the main run at the moment is I don't know if cycle skipping to where I would normally do, i.e. cycle 10, is a good idea or not anymore. Because obviously the game gets a lot harder, a lot faster. The reason why we used to do the cycle skip, I mean, the thing is, if you can survive at those cycles, it doesn't matter too much because you shouldn't be getting hit if you're playing nice and slow and mechanically and methodically. So I suppose it doesn't make too much odds. But it's the getting there. Just takes 1 or 2 mistakes during the getting there of cycle skipping to 10 and you're done. Absolutely done. Right, let's Cycle some arrows. No, not pestilence. No, not curse of God. Cataclysm 3. That'll do. Angled. Angled for his pleasure. And bam. And we get all of them bar one, which is... I mean, you can't get more than all of them bar one in one shot. But that is very much a practiced shot. Because you don't want to get all of them. Because if you did get all of them, whilst you are fleeing all the skulls, he'll be raising the lava level. Alright, don't want that. That's good for us. It's true. That's true. But then, as all good plans don't, they don't survive contact with the enemy. Ooh. That was, go on, hit the head. Can you hurry up and die? Any fucking danger? And... just waiting for that to go off. That couldn't come soon enough. Let's try and get some... should try and get some headshots, but again, especially on those guys, my aim is a bit more wonky with the crossbow than it is with the bow. So it can always be a bit difficult to get those headshots. Ultimately, you're not here for headshots, you're here for the kill. Have you fallen asleep on the keyboard again, Mr. Collins? Or drooled or something? I know it's good gameplay, but calm down, man. Quick vape, and then it's on to cycle 3. That's what we want, Divine Sight times 5, because if I don't have to aim, I don't want to. Times 3, there we go. Cycle, that one goes up there, maybe. Oh, it went through his shoulder. Oh, no, it didn't. Azure's Fury does do a small amount of damage. So if you were really struggling with Asmo on this, if you rapid fired into the body, might try and demonstrate actually. Watch this. Oh, that was the boulder. God damn it. Even with Asmo, you can rapid fire and get passed through. That wasn't passed through. That was the boulder. I never get hit by the boulders. I always say I never get hit by the boulders, but I got hit by the boulder. Dicking about. Right. You. Move. You. That. Curse. That's bad. Let's keep the enemies away from that end of the table. That's good, though. That's good news. Put it away, man. There he is. Cupid's Wrath times 3. We likey. Hopefully that lightning ball ain't going to do an awful lot, which it is not. And then we're going to go back over here. Come on in, fellas. The water's lovely. Not you. And then as soon as that long roar ends, that's when we want to be up close and personal, letting him have the good news. And there we go. Always, if you're going to sit there, especially without slow motion, always move when you make the kill. There's been plenty of times Oh, fuck it. Let's have another one. Look, see. Oh, no, it didn't pass through. Of course it won't prove me wrong on a fucking live stream, won't it? Yes, some of them do. But then this is another problem with the whole rapid fire side of things. If you are rapid firing at anything past kind of like medium range, then it can be an issue. Like wildfire does travel further and has a shallower arc. Holy fire is a very weighted arrow. Cataclysms are weighted arrows. So there we go. 2 cycles. So if you can manage 2 cycles on Fletcher, that way, like top 10. Top 10 right now. And I don't see the crossbow board changing an awful lot. And look at the difference. So another couple of cycles and we'll be in the top 4. And all I'm doing is going through the game, making a hash of, killing the orphans, completing the pits, killing the bosses, and moving on. That's all we're doing. Don't think there's... And the thing is, as well, the more you deviate from that, and the more you try and do with that, the more risky it becomes. Unless, of course, you're Laurent. He doesn't have to listen to my nonsense. I'm trying to educate the masses, not him. Or LG. Although I have by accident. Right. Let us... There's lots of easy to hit archers here. So let's do a little bit of arrow cycling. Yeah, see, Hail of Arrows. I know the first one works. And what we're looking at here, Hand of God is a debatable good arrow for an Orphan Annihilation. On lower cycles, it's not bad, but the problem is you are potentially setting yourself up for failure. Although you create a slow motion bubble around yourself, which is good, there is the potential that the next arrow you get is fucking shit. Or all the arrows that you get in like quite a plethora of arrows that you're firing through are rubbish. Still don't have a favourite for an Orphan Annihilation. I know ones that I don't like. Volley 5 is just the out-and-out damage dealer. Wildfire 5 has the benefit of... It is a better cherry bite of the... shouldn't say that, should I? It's a better arrow for taking bites of the orphan, i.e. going in, delivering damage, and then getting out again. Because it puts that burn effect on her, which, while she's burning, she can't leave. So it gives us more time to get far enough away for her to disappear. I have. Can you imagine if me and LG started playing properly, Laurent? Oh, what would happen then? But then the thing is, as well, the part of the reason why I play this way is A, I find this exciting, and B, I don't know how long I would actually last playing Fletcher the way it's intended. Pit and Orphan, same place. There she is. Took your time, love. Excuse me. So we've aggroed all that nastiness. So let's just get all the way away from it. All the way over to here. That's now all gone. Which now means that we can go back. And it'll all be de-aggroed because it's despawned. Because we've got far enough away. They will keep their original positions, which is a bit troublesome. But if we're clever, we can go round. I would say, personally, the best arrow to go into a pit with, if you wanted to do some cycling to give you that initial shot to help within the pit, is either a Hand of God or that. Let's try, shall we? And that's another thing that you could do. You could... A little shield bash on an enemy that you no longer want to take out. The reason why I shield bashed that one is because I didn't want to kill him. Because I didn't want to race the arrow. Are you still in range? No, you're not. We know the thing's there. Let's just get in it quick. So we can make use of this Divine Sight. Because Divine Sight times 5 could potentially be a good one. Also, we could use that Divine Sight times 5 to off-annihilate. Depending on where she is. Not close. Not here. Not here. Copious amounts of slow time. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that was lucky. And bye-bye. Steady on, fellas! Bloody hell. It is, isn't it? And that's part of the reason why I don't do it. Right, we need a safe space, but if I can take out some archers whilst I am carving it, I will be very happy, because ultimately it's archers that we'll take hits from. I would like to put that... he says as he gets swung up by a fucking... Why? Why do I say these things? He says as he gets swung up by an abomination who'd clearly finished his swing. Clearly. That's a lot of angry knights. But they're all nice and bunched up, and we've done a bit of damage to them, so let us deal with the ghosts first. This is where I will use a bit of slow time. Yeah. And look. Hello, Indy. How we doing? You're not the first bloke to sell that to me, to be honest with you, Indy, so... No. Unfortunately, I will never know the joys, I'm sure. So... So again, it doesn't matter too much. The fact that we're taking hits as opposed to misses bothers me. But... that should be enough, but let's double up. Barrows and needles, we like that for ghosts. Let's come back a little bit and deal with some ghosties. One of the arrows to watch out for whilst you are trying to take out ghosts is Cupid's Wrath. It will pass straight through a ghost and not have the common decency to stagger it. However, although Tempest doesn't kill a ghost, even if you target it directly in the chest, it still at least staggers it. You can have that all day. Cheers, pal. And we move. How I still haven't had a chance to look at your battle group video, and I'm very keen to see how did it go. Tell me, what was it like? You can have that. Keep moving. Hey! Was that a fireball? Ugh. There we go. Now, we'll leave you to settle on that Winter's Bite for now. Oh, that's a good arrow. am asking, how did you, I will watch it, but how did your stream go? I am intrigued. It is a very cool game that I have not had time to put into yet. I've actually got it given to me on the Pico recently as well, and I was kind of holding out to see it on the Pico, and now I've got really no excuse. But again, I don't want to just live stream it. I want to know what I'm doing before I play it. You know, there's plenty of people out there where you can go and watch them play games that, you know, they're either not very good at or don't know what they're doing. Isn't there, Indy? No, probably. I mean, actually, hang on, Cynthia, bear with me. I'll just check the battery now. Yeah, no, battery's looking okay. Quick battery check during this nonsense. What a great idea. Although, to be fair, we can get away with a lot in a Hand of God bubble. As long as you keep on moving. Oh, did that hit? Oh, that hit her hand. No, it didn't hit her hand. Damn it. Oh, come back. Oof. Good effort. Good effort. Right, so use the Hand of God bubble a little bit more. That's another reason, coming out with the examples today, that's another reason why you don't rapid fire on the incubi unless you are using slow time and registering what arrows are digging in. It's little things like those explosions that push the incubi down, away, up, to the side, or what have you, are the ones that get you dinged on the follow-up shot because he changes his position, and all the low aiming in the world will not accommodate for it. I feel like we've killed enough enemies here. I do really feel like I should have been able to leave by now. I really do. Maybe there's a load in here. There is not a load in here. Maybe there's some more knights up here. What were you looking at? There we go. There's our exit. And of course, we move to the end. Grab these. One of the other maneuvers that you can do as well, you can teleport out and still have time to grab those health things. Once the teleport arrow hits the portal, providing you are in a situation where you are close enough to get the lock-ons, you can hoover the life up and it will still obviously count. You can also use slow time to extend that timer before you leave the level, and in addition to that as well, whilst you are doing all of that, you are invincible. Should we cycle for a Hand of God? Because Winter's Bite would have been pretty good. Kind of passing up on good stuff here. Hand of God. Yeah, I mean, you know, I was asking for it, really. Getting that close. Quite the, quite the pouch he has on him. But yeah, so once I have hit that thing, things can attack me and can hit me, but I am invincible the moment my teleport arrow makes contact with the next level. It's like I've already left. Now, Hand of God is a really good one for burning him down. Let me try and demonstrate what I was talking about, though. So we will sit here, Hand of God, and then rapid fire. So there's the problem. If you're not paying attention to his life, or there's loads of effects that just catch up, you could miss the shot at the end because he's already dead, and you might not stop fast enough. And you'll have also seen in the middle of all of that, I also missed a shot. Now, I didn't miss a shot. Something passed through him. But anyway. Almost back to full. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. So we are definitely going to start slowing down and being a little bit more careful and prepared, though. Soon. Soon. You can get away with... The risks are that you'll get passed through, i.e. the arrow will or should hit Anakin, but actually go through. Can we go up there instead? That'd be lovely. Any danger? Thanks very much. And up there. God, I love this layout. Oh no, this is the wrong... this one isn't too bad. We can make a lot of headway without having to put a lot of risk in. That's a good arrow. Do a bit of arrow cycling whilst we're on the way. Stay nice and efficient. Yeah. It is a thing. Bit of arrow cycling on his shield there. Again, I think I mention this every stream. Hits on shields count. So if you can get a cat like this... a cat. I mean, as in a cool cat, because look at him. Look at that leap. He can't get down here. But look at that. Well, he could fall off, but he won't do from a leap. But someone like that, we could now sit here and cycle for days on that shield. He will eventually, through his little sidesteppy thing, make his way down here. So we can't do it all day, but you can continuously cycle on that shield. I don't think I've ever had any pass through from a shield. Where's that? Is that down the bottom? You in here? There you are. Found you. Hide and seek, I win. Right. And then we are done. These are particularly nice to you. As I said, these areas are so high that a lot of enemies that you may have aggroed on the way up to them have simply despawned. If we go up here, one there, one there, one there, a knight, and then pretty much anything else. Like, we've still got things following us. That's probably not a very good example, but yeah, getting height. It is definitely the opposite to... Yeah. I say I don't do enough shield cycling because, again, there is the problem with shield cycling your arrows that if you dump multiple cataclysms or, well, yeah, mainly cataclysms or explosive arrows, that will eventually down them. You know, you can have hundreds of cataclysms like through that shield, and when they all go off, that enemy's going to die. And then, you know, if you've already fired the shot and he's dead, well then, you know, we know you take damage then. Right. Oh, Divine Sight. I think with Divine Sight, the trick to getting the headshots, wait for him to stop. Nope. Divine Sight wants nothing but groin. Brilliant, isn't it? Or maybe it's getting close and firing up them. Meh. But a cool little factor as well. Hail of arrows. Second and third arrow. Again, this is something that Camille found out. Was that the second and third arrow of Hail of Arrows and Hellfire, not only are they silent, so if you fired them towards the second or the third arrow of the group of three, if you fired them towards an enemy unless you got a hit, you wouldn't alert them, because they're not actually a real arrow unless they do damage. And they also do the same amount of damage as a body shot, even to the head. It's one of the ways that we kind of later found out as to being one of the reasons why I was scoring a massive amount of points out of them in that tournament. Not so long back. Better with the bow than the crossbow at short range, because the first hit does that Omega 900 damage. Let's try and land this that way. Yeah, it does seem being close is the better shout. And we are here for points. No, 1 in the groin, 2 in the back. Brilliant. Divine Sight, ladies and gentlemen. The most inconsistent arrow in the history of man. Better burn you down, hadn't I? Oh, here's the arrow we need. Brilliant, yeah. Die the slow death, why don't you? Okay. Lovely. Again, it is a bit of a waste, because we could have used, knowing that they're here, that's at least 2 to 3 heals on average. We could have done more work in Paradise Lost, but I don't think it's worth it points-wise. And as Laurent said, and if anybody could call this mode played the normal way boring, it is him. Or, no, not boring, tedious. It is him, without shadow of a doubt. But then, it's the other reason why I like playing this as well, is we've all been there when we're on for a personal best or over a personal best, really far in, you've put a lot of work into a game, and something happens, like, you know, you get that whole, you get one of these, and get pushed into a hit, and then you get like a bullshit arrow hits you through a wall. I've had plenty of those. Or a fireball goes through the scenery, and all of these things that end your run unfairly. Or you just get fucking outplayed, done, or, you know, you're tired and you shouldn't be playing. There's lots of reasons why a run can go wrong. And it's devastating, especially if you're doing very well, or getting really far, or working towards something. They're most devastating when you're not trying to die, when it's not intentional. It's the other thing that I like about this is it's so throwaway. I can get a top 10 score, definitely, in an evening. No, thank you, Sean. You can take your ideas and fuck off, sir. That arrow has no right to be within any of that. So we've dealt with that. We just need a quick duck. As I've said before, you can engage the duck button. What is it? A. Pressing A will allow you to duck so that you can have a look quickly, quick glance underneath there. Press the A button to unduck again, and then we can just leave. Because we know that the pit is not there, and I believe in this configuration, oh, we didn't check that. In this configuration, that is the only place. What's okay better with friends? What? Say that again, Indy. I don't quite follow. Something. Oh, is that battle group is better with friends? Or is that another game that I don't know about? We need to do some arrow cycling here, potentially. Because we definitely know we have... Oh, get out of the way, you blithering idiot. We've definitely got an orphan coming up next. Okay. What map can you do in your own time? I don't know. Right, let's try and... Cat 3's not as great an arrow as you would think. The explosive damage is nice, but it can launch her. Got ya. The explosive arrows are nice, but if they're not a one-hit KO, they can launch her, and then you can get... It almost like adds a dodge mechanic to the orphan, which we definitely don't want. And the likelihood is your follow-up shot might miss because of that dodge. The beauty of Divine Sight times 5 is, I've done it plenty of times, you dive in to kill the orphan and you miss. This is the most highest damaging arrow that we can do that with, where we are not penalized for missing. So it's not a bad shout of an arrow to go in and try it on the orphan with. How many players is Battle Group these days, Indy? If I'm right, it's 2-player cooperative and it's like 4 versus, maybe? But I think the versus, you have to build up your fleets and whatnot, so that could take some time. Yeah, of course you're down there. Why wouldn't you be anywhere else? This may seem a little suicidal, but the best way to go in for this one I found is not from the back, but actually from the front. Because if you spawn all of that nonsense and it's behind you, you've got a better way out. And also, as we know, there's a lot of knights in that room. And if they come up behind you and hit you, as long as you are locomotioning forward, doesn't matter. They can't hit you from behind whilst you are locomotioning forward. As long as you don't turn and acknowledge their presence, then you can't be hit. That was quite clean. I like that. In, kill the orphan, next. Now, am I right in thinking that Despair is out of sequence? I do believe it is. So we had Agony as the... Did we have Agony as the first one, then Despair as the second? Despair's the most recent pit that I did, wasn't it? Notice how it isn't in sequence anymore. If I didn't save and quit the game and went through cycle after cycle, so it is still working, what I'm talking about here. If I didn't quit the game and went through every single abyss, cycle, it would start off with one, so let's say Agony, and then be Despair. And then after it's done that, it would then recheck to find out which one to give you first. And if it then gave you Agony next, the next one would be Despair, and then it would reset again. What we've done is we got Agony, which then means the next one that we're going to get is Despair. Because I have then saved and left and come back into the game, it's almost forced the reroll, and we've lucked out really nicely here and got Despair again. Because Agony is awesome usually. Usually Agony... Oh, come on. I mean... What's going on there? That definitely hit him. Maybe it didn't. Agony is usually the one that you want to go for, but when all we're here to do is get the orphan and get the hell out of Dodge, the reason why Agony... Come on. The reason why Agony is usually awesome... Oh, missed. Is because point scoring and additional resources. Could have done with that, really. Hail of Arrows isn't bad for this one. This one is probably one of the easiest orphans, and this is why I prefer Despair for Fletcher. Because we don't need points from Black Knights. We don't need incredibly long range. We just want an easy orphan kill and an easy out. And that's it. You gonna go sit in the lava, love? Ah, why you go that far? Oh, that's good. Coming. You are... Ooh. You are definitely going the wrong way, Missy. Cheers. Ah, well. 1 damage, isn't it? We need to kill those, though. Lightning should finish you two off. Good, good, good. Yeah, no, that was, I saw that. That's exactly what you want to see on high cycles, definitely. Although it's not good enough, Sean. Shouldn't be losing them, mate. What that post should have been about is, yeah, cheers RNG, I'm already at 3 holy armors. Ooh. Oh, well, doesn't matter. It was divine sight. So, again, we've cleared out all of those bits and pieces. What I like to do at this bit is go up the top on one side and kill these guys and then get out quick so that that doesn't happen. That was lucky. And then go up the other side and do the same if his Nibs there hasn't spawned, which he hasn't. He is still petrified. Pull! Cool. Now that should just about be enough to get the guy spawned. No, it's not. Divine Sight in there should do the job, though. There he goes. And what I think you should do in Despair, let's have a little play, what shall we? Put him out of line of sight, and you can definitely teleport there. Keep your hand near your slow-mo button. As soon as you hear him teleport, hit it. Oh, hang on a second. Let me deal with these idiots. Good job, that was a pestilence. So we'll stand here, ready on our slow motion button, and I'm just gonna get a drink and have a quick smoke. I say it loud because they are listening. Observe. See? See? Oh, and one in agony as well. Despair as well. Yeah, hey, look. I'm not a purist. Playing purist the way that I was playing is not the way to play purist. You know this. I mean, to be fair, we're not doing that great on this mode either. Right, I'll try and go for that smoke now. Where's it gone? There it is. As long as he is alerted, he will teleport. There's 3 places that I've seen him teleport. One of them is there. One of them is inside this on the left. And his more regular one is this one here, inside on the right. It has happened in streams before, but he always seems to make me out to be a liar whenever I'm trying to get him to do it. And I don't want to spend too long. Coming. There we go. So patience is key. He will come eventually. Brilliant. And once he does, we collect our things. So again, whilst this arrow is in flight, hits, hold, grab, we're invincible during the time that we are collecting the health. You shouldn't really be making too much of a rush job of leaving the pits, but there are times like, you know, you might have a load of ghosts on your tail and you might need to get out of there bloody fast, and that's one of the ways to do it. Memory. Engaging memory. Did we kill Orphan? That would suggest that we didn't, but I'm pretty sure we did. Oh yeah, we did, because it was in the, yeah, I had to make it, it was so fast. It was so fast. Yes, I remembered! I remembered, because it was good technique. I would argue that anyone that watches the bits and pieces that I do, especially these live streams, already has 30% of my skill in that they know what to do. The difference is actually engaging those techniques in your play. And this is one of the reasons why I talk to myself when I play and congratulate myself and berate myself also, because it really does help. Or it does me, anyway. Someone must have said that you are your own best teacher. And if they don't, I don't know, you are your own best teacher, Silver Tongue Devil 2023. Potentially. In a silly VR game. Right. Let's get rid of Divine Sight because we don't want that causing mischief, or that one. That can cycle, this can go, this can cycle, this can cycle, this can cycle, this can cycle, 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 cycle. Note how I'm slow motioning whilst I'm cycling. No. That's not a bad one because it will do a similar job. This is what we want. Now, watch what happens here. I've actually blown them all up. Whilst I'm running away to get away from the skulls, he's raising the lava level. Now, I lucked out very much so. It's part of the reason why I decided to take that shot. Normally I wouldn't. Because I have Hand of Godded him, he is slow to raise his lava. But if I'd have taken out all of those boils and then slowly jumped my way back to avoid having to shoot at the skulls, that could have got me a Terminator 2 ending quite easily. And, oh, well done, Divine Sight. Oh, for fuck's sake. I was so impressed with that Divine Sight wanted shot. I got hit. Right. 1. 2. Hail of arrows. 3. Hey! Excellent. That looked like it bopped him on the head. Yes, I did. And again, it's another reason. The thing with Curse is, at least if it is going to pop a skull, it pops it instantaneously. The problem with Divine Sight and Cupids is it can take a long time for it to catch up. Bastard. Yeah, it can take a long... Oh, it's a fucking hand shot. Come on now. Yeah, it can take a long time to actually catch up. Is the problem. There we go. Right, let's get all in and amongst these guys. Let's use some slow time. I want to kill... Ooh, load. You. And you. And if I've missed anyone, please understand it's been a busy day. I'm a little tired. Nope, stay in there. Cool. I think Hail of Arrows and Hellfire at range are the only sort of ones that I will risk going for headshots. That was a good amount of points. On an incubi, that is. You don't have to wait for him to be ready, because the curse can also take out not just the skulls. I think it can pop... Well, can it pop the boils? I don't know if it can or can't. Because I just don't factor curse into my technique. It's cataclysm all the way, and I would keep on doing... I haven't had very many occasions where I haven't cycled to a cataclysm whilst I've been trying to do it. Oh, that's a good job. That was silly. Good job that was a Divine Sight. I mean, meant to do that. Right. We can do better. We can do better. No. Yep. Cup Asmo with the Hand of God. Seen it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Quick little reset from us there, because we hit him in the dorsal flange. Because as soon as they're glowing, he is ready to get hit. And that was more to do with the fact that we've slowed him down. Again, I don't mind... Well, you were very quick. I don't mind going for his dorsal flanges with Hellfire and Hail of Arrows, because the work's being done for me. Why do that? Divine Sight, you are such a ridiculous arrow sometimes. You really are. Up over the shoulder. Not enough. That one will be. Hey, lovely. Over here. Again, I think I've talked about it plenty of times. Why do I sit on here and not go up the regular way? Because the amount of times that I've misfired the shot to get up these steps, and then what it means, and because of course these lower steps come down last, so these ones are already formed, these ones are still forming, so I can teleport up here before the enemies spawn here, which then means instead of them having the drop on me, he almost had the drop on me. Instead of them having the drop on me, I have the drop on them. And we like having the drop on them, because that's good. And one for the doctor. Right, we want to keep the... Although the abominations are cycle 3 variants, so even with an upgraded pestilence... that's bad news. Even with an upgraded pestilence, I don't think it would have enough guts in it to kill. But I don't want to now one-shot that archer because it'll set a curse off. And that curse is likely to do us more of a disservice than a help. So I would rather dodge him now. And one of the things that we can do, as soon as Asmo gets his act together, if we keep the pillar between us and the archer, it's not too bad. But now we simply want to go for the cycle. I've also got a Hand of God on him there as well. And he is ready to receive hits. Let's take the archer out. And now we are free to cycle. Divine Sight goes up a little bit. That should end it, but let's keep cycling on him just to make sure. There we go. Lovely and clean. And also note how this prima donna will now do his death sequence in slow motion, thanks to being cupped. And this is one of the ways that you can have the end of the level up before Asmo's finished. And if we're clever... Uh-oh. If we were faster, we can leave before he finishes dying. Lovely little bit of useless knowledge. So, what I was saying about agony and despair, the pits in Abyss. Let's rest in Sanctuary, because we just got despair. So we want to try and reset that order again, so at least we've got a 50-50 chance of getting despair again. Because we want despair as the pit over and over again. For the reason that LG was talking about is that orphan, and you all know the one that I'm talking about, is a nightmare. And there you go. That is 2 hours and 10 minutes of not playing particularly well, kind of dicking about, chatting with you good people, and doing a terrible job at an Orphan Annihilation, because I'm not as good with the crossbow as I am with the bow. And we're 5th in the world. So, yeah. And I'm not abusing slow time anywhere near as much as I normally would. So, let us carry on. Kinda got to beat this "you gotta watch me" guy now, haven't I? Show him how it's done. But again, I intend to do one more stream of this, because we're getting to the point now where I do find with the crossbow, things become a lot more touch and go with the crossbow for me. So at cycle 4, really it should be cycle 5, but at cycle 4 is when I'm going to start taking this a little bit more slow and steady and a little bit more cautiously, and start doing things like arrow cycling before I go into a pit. Because I don't think it's a bad idea. The problem is, you can find yourself doing this a lot, and it not really helping. Cupid's Wrath is not a bad arrow. I prefer a Hand of God. Go on, do your explosions. It's just fury, man. Holy light. No! Don't leave me with holy light, you git. Purgatory? It depends on how I play it. If I played the ridiculously long-range game, I mean, I know that you can get about 110 from the pit. So, and I think my highest has been about 3... Tempest isn't a bad shout for a pit, actually. About 320, I think? Maybe higher than that. I remember I could regularly score 400,000 out of the first cycle, including the pit, when Barrage of Needles was a thing. So, I don't know. Playing an extremely long-range game where you are kiting absolutely every enemy to ridiculous ranges, and then at least hitting the headshot on maybe 90-95% of them, I would say, I don't know, you should be able to get in the region of about 300,000 out of the level, but it would be very long and tedious and take you hours to do, you know, just that. And it's, yeah, it'd be safe-ish. As safe as taking long-range headshots can be, because you then also want to be trying to long-range headshot the archers. And even at Cycle 1, if you're missing all of those shots, forgetting to move or getting caught on something on a roof whilst you're trying to get those long-range headshots, and, you know, you could start taking damage, and, you know, then it's not quite as safe. So that is Skeleton Warriors. Oh, Fletcher. Good question. When I was doing it on the... When I was doing it on... I know, because it was Despair, wasn't it? It was Despair on the Fletcher's challenge, wasn't it? The first level. Right, let's find out. On Fletcher, I don't know, I've never really tried. But the thing is, the way to do it would be Executioner bonus and making massive use. So basically playing it as we did the tournament would be the best way. I'd say without the pit, I don't know, 150? Maybe 150, maybe 200,000, I think. I don't know, I'm probably not taking everything into consideration there. So again, note how I'm not going to just dive in there, even though we're at full life, and I probably could. If I get the right arrow and get a good... Yeah, alright. If I could get a good arrow, I might go in. I know... I'm trying to think. I can't remember who had... When Barrage of Needles was prevalent, you could play the Executioner Barrage of Needles game. And the Barrage of Needles, if you got one as sort of like one of your first drops, or you kept on restarting the game to get a double Barrage of Needles in the first shop, oh, like 500,000 you could do. What is it then? Skeleton Warriors and Skeleton Archers. That's fun. And whilst we can't hear the orphan, we are just going to play it safe. I'm kind of treating this one like it's Cycle 5, if I'm honest. That's... Yeah, but that's with the pit, right? Laurent? I'd say that's about... Oh, okay. So, yeah. I think I'd have been right in saying then about 150,000 would probably be a top end. Oh, you little shit. Stupid explosions. Again, though, we would rather... These are the hits at this point that I don't mind taking. I don't mind taking hits from misses. I do not now at this point... Well, next cycle specifically, but I do not want to be taking hits from enemies. Right, we've got volley 5, and it's only skeleton warriors and knights. Let's get in there and make the orphan happen, and we go. Get right into this corner to try and de-aggro... Or sorry, despawn. Where are you going? Despawn as much as possible. Well, let's see, the thing... I would say then myself personally, because Laurent, I know you're good on the executioner and fast. And better than me on the crossbow for that sort of thing, I would imagine. Although I do struggle at long range. I'd say for me then probably about 130k from the map. But as Laurent said, I'd definitely say 150 is possible. Maybe even as much as 200k, but you'd have to get quite blessed with a lot of those divine sight ×5 and ×3 headshots that just stream off at long range and manage to hit enemies. Let's go. Couple of... Oh, just the one. Just the one headshot there then, sir. I think I've shown it off before, but if you have a map that is... If you've eliminated skeleton archers or knights, and you have just skeleton warriors, I don't think a lot of people know about these two pillars and how you can stand on top of them. But skeleton warriors cannot follow you up there. So, like, for instance... Oh, there you go. This is too small a platform. There has to be at least a safe space between us and where they teleport up to. Even if I move to the edge of here, I don't think he can come up. And it is quite a visually deceiving thing, because from the bottom, if you're not looking up, from the bottom, those pillars look like they go all the way to the top, and they do not. Lovely. That was lucky. That's all right, mate. Oh, come on. That was a nut. Well, that's probably the first one that we deserved from earlier. So note how I am now slow timing my hits a little more. Yeah, but again, the 165k, Laurent, in normal mode, I imagine you still play Executioner close range reasonably fast and furious, because I would imagine, like me, you know that you can play that stupidly long range game and nickel and dime every single enemy for those long range headshots, but it's fucking boring. So fucking boring. But yeah, no, that's good for Executioner. Or I assume so. I don't know, maybe you suck at long range, don't know. My excuse is fucking boring. I'm sticking to that. Just because I tell you that that's the most efficient way to do it does not mean that's the way that I do it. I'm giving you the facts, not what I do. There's two different things often. Don't need it. Here's the scenario. We've got ghosts coming in. I've got time to grab one, say they were a bit closer. So we fire our teleport arrow. Oh, and we're already at full health. I thought that was a teleport grab fail then. It was because we were already at full health. But yeah, you get the idea. Again, if I keep banging these things in enough, I might actually start doing them myself. Yeah, that was literally first map, wasn't it? So we haven't killed the level orphan yet. No. Hey, volley 5. We are looked after. We are. Yeah. 2 cycles. Yeah, exactly. Yes, correct. It's basically, the general rule is, as I think I've said before in probably a live stream, maybe I should put it in a video as well, but I think I've said it in one of my tournament videos, but the general rule is, because this isn't specific for achievements, because there are some achievements that are timed as well. If this arrow is not meant for you, get out of the way. At least I know where she is. Hang on, I'll finish that thought in a minute, bear with. Remind me if I forget. Hello. That was lucky. As a general rule, if you can see the timer, if you hold down the slow time, it won't affect the timer. If the timer is invisible to you and ticking away in the background, then slow time will do the job. We know that from slow time of Executioner bonus, and we also know that from the slow time of Siege of Heaven, because there is no denying that the time that you have to combo whilst you are holding the slow motion button is drastically increased. And we've had confirmation from Super Bright that the slow motion does affect, as in slow time on the... do we burn him down? It's a bit risky at this point to burn him down, I think. I mean, we could. If I got... Let's cycle and see if I get a Hand of God. I'd like to try and do him one more time. Piss off! Oh, we've got plenty of life. It's alright. These are all shots. Note how I'm going for body shots as well. Nah. Should have got rid of that, actually. No. But this is part of the problem, is you could spend a long time cycling for the perfect arrow and not actually get it. Where are you going? Hey! Yeah, it does depend on your survivability as well. But if you can survive well into the cycles and do the bosses, then playing the game that way is technically better, because you are squeezing every point that you can out of the game early doors. Right, let's try the old burn down technique. Oh. That was an arrow that wasn't passed through. Took too much damage there, and I think we'll get an extra one here as well. That wasn't too bad, actually. So, Hand of God is definitely the arrow to burn him down. But now we are getting to the point where from cycle 5 onwards, those hits are causing double damage. No chance. Can't do it. Right. Well, 1232 is the max in a normal level. You can get the points tally higher than that in the pits. But that's not because of increased distance. That is because of the pit bonus. Oops. It works. It definitely works. It's not fun. Sean is a lot of things. You cannot say he's not dedicated. Oh, silly knight. Right, we are cycling. Hey, there we go. That's what I wanted. And oh, let's go up there and duck, duck, duck. Whack, whack, whack. And there we go. And across. Again, not a bad shout if you've got things teleporting down your throat to nope out here. And as soon as you press that rest in sanctuary button, it's the same as if you have engaged a portal. So you are invincible when you hit that. Now, so we're up to 4th. Stanky Storms, how you doing, mate? So he comes in the chat occasionally. So we're now up to 4th. We haven't got that much further. And that's because there's not much of a gap going up to the top 10. In the grand scheme of things, now here come the big gaps leading up to the mighty Laurent. So the reason why I noped out there, as you'll have seen when I turned back, there was a lot of archers around that we'd aggroed by by rooftop hopping. So this is a technique that you can use in any of your rooftop hopping adventures by noping out, either into the shop and then coming back out. They'll still be there. It's leaving the game and coming back in will force the enemies back to their original spawns. Because as you can see, nothing is now aggroed. And remember, there was an archer here and there was an archer here. And I think there was something else teleported in as well. It's all gone back to its original positioning, which is nice. Now, this is... Hey, mate, you're first in my favourite mode. So, let's... that is a problem with that, though. Look what it's done. It's changed our arrow. I always forget about that. That is a problem. But we've got a wildfire ×5, and... if I'm right, can you move out the way, please? Ooh. Let's move, shall we? I don't think she's there. Which means she is up there. Right up at the top. Oh. Lovely. Hi. We don't... no. That, as long as nothing's firing at us, that's the safest shot. And then that's the safest shot. And yeah, as Tim was saying, you can make the... I think it was Tim was saying, you can make the crossbow bolts go a lot further. A lot further than the... or the crossbow shots and teleport arrows go a lot further. Also note as well, all the enemies that were aggroed in the level and that could have potentially chased me, as long as they are still on the level, and I don't think they'll teleport into the boss area, they'll die or disappear with the level. So let us see what we can do here. As I've said previously, You do... It's a risky shot to take, so we won't. Down you come. Hey. No, that is good. I don't know what my point is these days, but I always see that as... Oh, there you go. I always see that as... when you can get to those higher cycles, that's what we want. Have one of those as well. Oh, that was lucky. So we don't want to hit him with wildfire here because he's still taking tick damage from the Winter's Bite, and that would be the Winter's Bite would replace... sorry, the wildfire would replace the Winter's Bite effect, so we wanted to leave that stacked. The reason why as well those 5 looked like they went into the wall is for some reason at close range, each one of those arrows, if it goes past the initial target and hits something, counts as another 5, which is a bit weird. Yeah, I feel you there, dude. As I said, with the game getting harder again by an order of magnitude. Might be worth it. The arrow. Bad arrow. I hate holy light. Oh, I did have a bit of an idea earlier on today as well. So you remember I was talking about the sigil that I wanted? All ghosts, all skeleton warriors and archers, all replacing all enemies, and the level dark lit and really moody and misty. One of the other things that I thought would be quite cool to add to all of that is replace your normal arrows with wildfires. That would be fucking awesome. Because the game has got some very good shadowing effects, and that would really show it off. But hey, what do I know? Shouldn't be able to hit me. What a prick. I mean, thankfully he didn't, but... Yeah, come down, would you? Try and get that sideways so that we get the balls on him. So that actually might do some damage. That one I'm not worried about. Lovely. Does anyone need any Blood of the Lambs in their game? I don't need these ones. Right. Here we go. Can he make it? Live stream attempt. Fail. Fell short as well. It's a really difficult shot to make, that one. Really is. Do it all the time when I'm not streaming, obviously. Right then. What we'll do, I think, is we'll complete this one, complete cycle 4, do what we did last time and get myself set up and ready for cycle 5, and then we will call it a night. So we'll get Abyss done, cycle 5 complete, and then we'll go for something else. Here's another spicy shot that you might not know about. All the time. All of those shrapnel hits, if you can get the shrapnels to hit the head, all count as individual headshots. The problem is getting them to do that is very difficult. I have tested, I have tried. Unfortunately, as I think I've said previously, shrapnel blast is not the next barrage of needles, not by a long shot. It even actually takes so much setup to get it to go off right, that it's not worth it. Lovely. And we leave. Now, where's that pit? Over there. Which then saves me spending any time in the level more than I need to. No, sorry, mate, just bloods. Just bloods spare. Holy armors are on a pay-to-win basis. Holy armors will cost you £2 per go. Armor has got to make some money somehow. Yeah, it's yeah, no, that is how it's supposed to work. You can't, so what I've done, I can't remember if we did a testing stream on it. I think we might have done, but you would, the thing is, Barrage of Needles works very, very well and dovetails very nicely with the Executioner style of play. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people liked it. The likes of like LG didn't like it because they don't like to play like that. It just made short range quick killing much more profitable and high risk, high reward. I wish they'd bring it back one day. And welcome back, Mr. Fish. See, someone else is making that shot. Yeah, crossbow though. Crossbow though, isn't it? Bloody contraption. Can't aim this thing for toffee. But again, this is part of my own failing with the way that I play the game. Now, one of the things I can definitely tell you is that the gunslinger style that I often push will get you very, very far into the game. However, modes like Fletcher, you end up neglecting. If we have a Barrage of Needles sigil, it would be the Devil's Advocate sigil. This is, no, the Devil's Advocate amulet. I think it shouldn't be a sigil. I think it should be an amulet. Because, you know, what would you rather take? The extra arrows from Blessed Quiver, or the ability to score multiple headshots from Barrage of Needles? Even as the guy, even as the Barrage of Needles guy, I would still have to consider that choice. Would still have to consider which one of those two I would rather take, because I like Blessed Arrow. And then the thing is as well, I think that's fair. So here you'll see we didn't get the luck of the dice again. We've been given Agony as the first one from the reroll, which should mean that technically I should now play through to cycle 5 to guarantee another Despair. But you know, I've already said. Trying to get as many of those either alerted. Oh, she's already there. Look at this. That's bad. This is bad. Oh, not that. Uh-oh. Right, let's try. Let's test the theory. Anyone here an orphan? Because I know I don't. So you could, in fact, here's a theory. If any of my moderators are in the chat, can you now ban LG quickly? So note how, if we can build from back here. Oh, badness. Note how the orphan still hasn't spawned, and she definitely didn't leave. And it's not as bad as I actually gave it credit for, because the incubi is still stoned. Alright, let's hide here, so we can't be shot. There's gonna be things coming up. And now what we could do, if we're really clever... Laurent, I don't want you looking at this either. Can you ban yourself or something? Hellfire, though. Is it? Really? No. Lovely. If those guys want to teleport in, that'd be grand. So I've got this pillar between me and them, and I'm making a point of looking this way, because I want them to teleport into my field of view. And we're going to do what we can, but we've got to be careful of these guys. Divine Sight times 5. Let's have that second bite of the orphan, shall we? Oh, look. There she is. I mean, we took loads of hits doing that, but still. No one tell LG! Nobody! Because we can refine that. That was kind of an on-the-fly test. But it required... The only problem with that is, yeah, it's quite dangerous. But I would say you wouldn't have to go to the back and kill all of that. You could just go to the back if the orphan was about to leave, just to force her to despawn. So yeah, maybe we'll practice that. I have got maybe enough now to do a testing stream. I know Mr. Vega likes the testing streams, because I'd like to test that, but that could be a long time in the testing because of getting the right spawn. I also want to have a play around with Shrapnel Blast again as well. More to show off that I don't think... Hiya, fellas. I don't think it's the answer to our barrage of needle woes. But yeah, hopefully you guys watching understand the theory. That orphan there is the one that everybody hates because of all the work. Yep. A lot works because of the rule of 17, as it happens. Right, we need him up here. Yeah, it would. I mean, I wouldn't mind. The problem is as well, though. Look, mate. Look. It's a working theory still. Thing is, though, Mike, I still took like 3 actual hits getting in and out of that. But I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't like to do that on really high cycles, though. If I'm honest. The danger, to be fair, the dangerous part about that strategy is then the summoners. That's what we took the hits from, not enemies. I don't think it was being too close to summoners. So again, panic shooting, I guess, isn't it? That's right. Even I panic shoot. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, but we need something either for this or... and go. We need something for this or much higher cycle in the main game. Yeah, you'd need... You'd need the reflexes of a fucking mongoose, or yeah, I think that would be too. That would be. I wouldn't try that in Purist. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Just fine. Memory. Engage memory banks. Hang on. Engage memory banks. Did we kill Orphan back there? I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did. But yeah, the one thing that I will say, especially with the bow, would be the problem with dealing with the summoners beforehand and then skipping to the back is part of the reason why that strategy will work is because of the summoners. Because I don't think there is enough enemies back there without the summoners' summons to break the rule of 17. So we can't. It's a bit of a catch-22. The summoners are the things that are going to be a pain in the ass whilst you're trying to get back to her, but we kind of need them to be spawning abominations to break the old rule of 17. I mean, that wasn't too bad though. We didn't take too many hits. Again, nothing to worry about because it's when you start taking hits and you're from cycle 5 onwards is where I would be concerned. And that, as you'll see in my next stream, is where I will slow right the fuck down. But also, there's the whole point of I haven't warmed up for this or got ready for this. I've literally jumped from a purist stream. What are we on today? Wednesday. A purist stream last week. And now we're doing this. So the longer I play, in theory, the better I should get shit. That one was a miss. Right, that's what we want. And then that little diagonal down there. Well, can't get them all every time. And then we run. If you can hear him behind you, you keep going. You don't need to put your shield out to get them to get the range on you and get close enough to do anything. Azure's Fury, I think, does a job on these as well. Almost got me hit. I do. There's times when I know I have to, but again, you then still need to quicken up. Oh, I really could do with this for the next section, lads. And that. Brilliant. Brilliant. Shrapnel Blast is the greatest arrow at taking groups of cupids out. Obliterate the back line. You know it. I think that's the best Shrapnel Blast I've ever shot. With a crossbow, no less. Right, let's... Here we go. And curse, do your thing. Actually, no, we're on cycle 4, aren't we? That's not going to work. All with the Shrapnel Blasts today. It's not as bad as that, Cynthia, alright? You're making me sound like, you know, some bloody speed freak. Yes, they took away my runner mode, so I can't go and satisfy my running, my fast urges anywhere anymore. I think that side of things comes from the fact that I've done all of this many, many times before, and going fast I find more of a challenge, but also in streams. I mean, I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. What do you find more entertaining to watch? Slow, methodical gameplay or Fast and Furious? Because I'd imagine it's Fast and Furious, especially if you've never seen this game before. I would imagine the Fast and Furious looks better. Maybe I should do a poll on that. But that's as much a part of it as anything. Is it's not just my own boredom. It's like your guys. No, there's no point me streaming if it's not entertaining. Oh, lovely. Easy shot. Quick cycle, because I don't want that. And another one. Be careful if you're going to cycle arrows on him. Tried for one extra one. Got a decent arrow, though, so it's not bad. Yeah, I thought you'd say that. I mean, at the very least, this Fast and Furious gameplay keeps my scores down. So... we'll save that volley. Where are you? There you are. And hello to you. And we leave. Now, if we can catch everything in this catch-all bubble down the bottom, whilst we cycle on him, we've got to be careful of those, though. Don't move. You were fine where you were. Cat 3 is not a bad shot, a bad arrow, if you can get it off correctly. So wait for the roar. When that ends is when we can take our shot. Now. Perfect. Cycle, Cat 3 or Cat 5 will do that job. If you aim for just above the middle of his eyes, so that stupid forehead of his, if you aim for that, the spread of Cat 3 or Cat 5 will take out both of his horns. If you get the timing right. One of the ways to get the timing on that, it's like we haven't even begun. If you get the timing right on that as well, and bear in mind you could go horizontal with the bow, and get that shot off. So one of the ways that you could get the timing right on that is to zip around the map until he's thrown his third rock, and then move in. And when he's thrown his third rock, he has a little breather. He takes a little rest. Then you pop him between the eyes with the Cat 3 that you've cycled up on him. There we go. I think I've improved as we've gone along. And yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, Cynthia Tice says 1000% Fast and Furious. So it's going to be Fast and Furious. The thing is, I think this mode, like playing Fast and Furious on Purist, I'm glad you guys enjoyed. Because, I don't know, doing that in Purist just seems a bit of the wrong way to play it, and I feel like I'm showing off, but that, I suppose, is kind of live stream. This, I don't feel like I'm showing off, because I think this is recreatable. However, what I do in Purist, I don't think is recreatable by everybody. So, that's why I try and stick to the things that I think I can show off that you can do, and also try and be entertaining. And on that bombshell, we will end it there. Thank you all very much for watching me. This has been In Death Unchained. On the quest to stand alone, native, I have been Silvertongue Devil. Good night.